we are given a number of clues here about A, B, C, and D, and asked which of the following statements must be true. In other words, it has to be true. There's no other possibility. So let's take a look at what we're given and talk about what these clues mean. When you see the word undefined, what that means is you just tried to divide something by 0. You're not allowed to do that. So this clue right here means A times D equals 0. All right? Now, the next clue is interesting. CAB equals D. Think about the possibilities here. From this first one, I've got either A equals 0 or D equals 0, or, hey, it's possible A and D both equal 0. Okay, so here's your possibilities. A not equal 0. If you take a look at that, you'll see these are the three cases we have. Either A is 0, D is 0, or they're both 0. Now, which of those possibilities would satisfy this next condition right here? C times A times B equals D. Well, if A is 0, I'm going to start with number 1. If A is 0, then C times A times B is 0, which means D has to be 0. But this condition 1 says D is not equal to 0, so I know this condition 1 is actually not possible. If you take a look at condition 2, D equals 0, well, it's possible A doesn't equal 0. If C or B equals 0, that would take care of it. So that might be the case. And it's also possible that if A and D are both 0, that statement in orange is true. So I've only ruled out one of my three possibilities here. And now let's move on to the third statement, which is that C times B is greater than 1. And it might not seem that important that these are greater than 1, but think about this. If C is 0, this can't be true. If B is 0, that can't be true. So what this statement says is that C and B are both non-zero. And if C and B are non-zero, that means A has to be 0 from the orange statement. Right? If C and B were not 0, that means if D is 0, A must be 0. Okay, so that's how we kind of logic our way through this to get to this third statement. A equals D equals 0. That's what these three clues are all about telling us. So let's see which of the following statements must be true. A plus B equals 0? No, not necessarily. Remember, B could be 5. Well, who knows what B is? How about C is greater than 1 and B is greater than 1? Yeah, that could be true. So that's maybe true, but it doesn't necessarily have to be true. A plus D equals 0? Ah, that one. That has to be true, because A and D are both themselves 0. And if you look at these other conditions here, some of them are just outright false, some of them are maybes again. B times D, for example, that's false, because I know D is 0. And C equals 0 or B equals 0? Yeah. Actually, no, that's totally false, because we know that if you times them together, it's equal to a non-zero number. So we've got a maybe in here, that's distracting, and one condition that has to be true no matter what. But this is a big logic exercise. First of all, in understanding what undefined means, but then understanding how things multiply to be 0.